of illegally holding on to classified documents at his Florida estate. His lawyers are claiming presidential immunity.
Trump attorneys have already asked the Supreme Court to answer the immunity question. An American spacecraft's back on the moon for the first time since 1972. That was Apollo 17. Odysseus is a solar-powered cylinder about 13 feet tall and 5 feet wide.
A private lunar lander touching down on the moon's south pole. Only 5 countries have ever achieved a lunar landing. The craft is part of NASA's hope to commercialize moon deliveries ahead of the planned return of the astronaut.
Fox's Kevin Corke. Other successful moon missions have been launched by Russia, China, India, and Japan. America's listening to Fox News.
Freedom 97.1 WSME.
Live and local. Real talk starts now.
And it is the 23rd. Again, it is the 23rd of February.
It is.
What
happened?
It's your daughter's birthday?
Yeah, today's her birthday.
Yeah, good. I
happy
forgot to hit the
birthday.
unmute button over there. But anyway, we're here.
Megan, right?
It's Megan's
Happy
birthday.
birthday, Megan.
Happy birthday, Megan. What happened on this date? Back in 1945.
Megan wasn't born in 1945.
No, she was
but-
born in 93. Like,
Mhm. But in 1945, you know what happened?
wait a minute. What's the date? February 23rd?
Yeah.
That's not when Hitler committed suicide, is it? No. Okay, then I don't know.
6 U.S. Marines raised the American flag
Iwo
atop
Jima.
Mount Suribachi amid
Yeah.
horrific combat on Iwo Jima.
Yep, okay.
My daddy would be so ashamed of me.
Photographer Joseph Rosenthal caught it. The picture that's published is not the first one of that flag raising. They staged a second one to make it a better photograph. So, and anyways, it's probably one of the most well-known photographs in the world.
Yes.
Definitely across the United States. Very important here at, in Jacksonville, Camp Lejeune area. These are, I think, Marines and one Navy corpsman were involved. I don't know whether he was involved in the original or what, but anyway, they were there. So, corpsman, a Marine's best friend. They'll tell you that in a heartbeat. Anything else going on in your world besides politics, and more politics?
It's full moon.
Oh, that's just brings
Explains a
out
lot
a
of
lot of
wackiness.
stuff, doesn't it? We talked yesterday about Swansboro.
Yes, we did. A lot of
So-
good things happening in
Yeah, well, there
Swansboro.
was one bad thing that happened.
What?
I was on my way there
Uh-oh.
yesterday afternoon at about 4:45, and I was stopped at a red light in front of the Food Lion, along with a whole bunch of other vehicles,
Right.
and I heard a wham-a-lam-a-lam.
Oh my gosh.
It wasn't me.
I told you.
Somebody behind in this long line of cars that were behind me hit
Mhm.
one or more other vehicles, and one of those vehicles came to rest right beside me.
Oh, nice.
Oh yeah. And I said, well, the guy, young guy, got out of the car and was helping his girlfriend or whatever get out of the car the same way. They didn't appear to be hurt. Front end of their car was messed up, and I don't even know what the other vehicles were because there were so many cars there. And I said, you know what? I'm dialing 911. I'm not going to get out into this mess.
Yeah.
Right, right. I
Okay.
told you the traffic.
The traffic was
Ooh.
all the way. I mean, and anyway, I got 911 dispatcher and gave them the directions, the location. What's the address? I don't have a clue, but here's where it is.
The middle of the road in Swansboro. You can't miss it.
You said you were
Yeah.
at the light at Food Line?
I'm at
Yeah.
the food
I
line in
would have had to make a
Swansboro.
right-hand turn into the parking lot and go into Food Line to use the facilities.
Well, it was
Scary.
a little tough to get over into that right-hand
Oh,
lane
yeah.
to do anything.
True.
You don't do a lot of lane changes
Nope.
in traffic like that. I can tell you right now. I
Nope.
don't anyway.
And especially that time of day, the
Yeah.
traffic is really super heavy.
And,
I would say, though, that was probably a smart move by the town to drop the speed limit from 45 to 35.
mhm.
I know it's aggravating,
But
it
they
it
still
sure
don't drive
helps.
35 unless
Yeah,
the police
of
are out there
course.
running an
And they have a
operation.
ghost car, that black
I
one.
saw it.
I've seen it.
A lot
It
of
was
people
coming in our direction as I was getting closer to downtown Swansboro. There were two
Yeah.
of them running blues headed that
Yeah.
way.
Well, a lot of people don't realize that either they don't care, or they don't realize that the speed limit changes.
I know. They don't care.
No.
And I know Swansboro PD was doing, when they first changed that thing, they were explaining it to a whole lot of people alongside the road, because I drive through Swansboro those days and there were blues to the left of me, blues to the right of me.
Mhm.
I had the car stop.
Well, here's
Giving them a
here's a
reminder.
little bit of information. A lot of people did, and I lived here all my life, never knew. Western Boulevard speed limit is 45. correct?
up until a certain point.
Right, correct. That's what I was getting at. When you turn off Highway 24 onto Western Boulevard up until you hit the Bryn Mawr Road area, it's only 35.
That's right.
How many people know that?
I don't know, but I saw it for the first time probably about 6 months ago.
My sister told me, I'm like, what are you talking about? I went that way and looked. Sure enough, 35.
It's there.
It certainly is.
Oh, my goodness gracious. Some places ought to be about 10.
Bell Fork Road in the morning. Good Lord.
Yeah.
If you're not doing 80, they're on your bumper.
There you go.
They just ride my bumper
And
all the
that
way.
60 mile per hour speed limit, speed zone, the bypass area.
Yes.
I'm the only one that runs that speed limit.
No, I do.
Well,
I do also.
because
But you
everybody
know,
passes
the
me.
bypasses are tricky because the speed limit changes so many different times.
I know.
It's like they're doing it on purpose to catch you. Just
Nah.
kidding. But you know, you go from 45 to 50 to 60 to 55. I just keep looking at the signs.
Well, if I keep my GPS up to date, it tells me what the speed limit is. And
Yes, I have
anyway.
that on my truck. Well, you can look right at the dashboard and
Mhm.
it'll tell you what the current speed is.
No,
Unless
I've got a
Google's
separate-
not updated.
I got a separate GPS.
Yeah.
I don't use the built-in GPS because they all suck. I've never seen one that I liked. I got separate
Okay.
ones. Here's a weird one. When I first saw the headlines, a white alligator in Nebraska. I said, "What, alligators in Nebraska? What are you talking about?" Well, it had 70 coins in it when they examined it. Alligators in a zoo, one of 10 American alligators in Omaha, Nebraska. And that people are throwing coins into the ponds. I don't know how many other alligators.
People are just so dumb.
Y'all got to stop that stuff. First of all, keep your coins. You might want to need them one day.
Mhm.
And throwing them into and critters will eat some shiny stuff. You know, a lot of because it looks like something that you should eat.
Sure, they weren't throwing bleach in the pond?
Well, there are white alligators out there. A few
Yeah,
of
isn't
them.
that called like an albino alligator or
Yeah,
something? That's
yeah.
what I
There's
thought.
albino deer and all
Yeah.
sorts of things like that. But I don't. Just they just did a routine checkup, and when they did the scan, they were coins, so they had to get them out of the gator.
Wow.
Wow, yeah, kind of crazy out there. Okay, it's about 59 degrees here in Jacksonville. I thought it was cold last night, and came back from Swansboro and got my fire ready, got it all stacked up, ready to go.
Mm-mm.
It got down to like 56 degrees at this house last night. That was it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
tomorrow night will be your fire.
I know
night.
that. So
Yeah.
I already
Well, the
said,
night before was cold, like 31 or something.
yeah, and I didn't build a fire that night.
I know we didn't get a picture. Gee.
Did you see what happened in China at that boat hit that bridge?
No,
And
is it a boat or a ship?
it was a barge and it
Oh my!
tore the whole bridge up, killed 5 people,
Oh, I think
plunged
that.
cars that were
Mhm.
sitting on the bridge, plunged them into the water. They know at least 5 are dead. I mean,
Wow.
that's what's left of the bridge. And they're blaming the bridge, blaming the boat or the barge.
Yeah, well, actually, they
They're
should.
calling it a barge. It says that after a barge collided with the bridge. No, it hit the bridge. It just flat hit the bridge. It broke off the bridge and plunged all these vehicles that were on the bridge into the water.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's very sad.
nightmare.
Yeah,
This is why I don't like bridges. And I don't like bridges where you have to stop on them.
I'm right there with you.
Yeah.
they had the Cape Fear Memorial Bridge in Wilmington. You're
Yeah.
familiar with that one? The
Yes,
one's the
yes.
vertical
I used to
rise
do
bridge.
that. Yeah.
Mhm.
Back in the late 70s, could have been early 80s. The bridge operator, when ships are coming, he sees the ships coming.
Correct.
He can't see everything that's on the bridge.
Oh, jeez.
It could not in those days. I think they
Uh-huh.
got cameras up now.
Yeah.
Anyway, traffic at that time, a 2-lane road when you cross the bridge into Brunswick County
Uh-huh.
at that time. And cars would back up onto the bridge.
Oh, my.
One car stopped, it was a Cadillac,
Mhm.
stopped on the bridge where it goes up.
Oh, no.
The bridge goes up. The car goes up partway with it, then tumbles off into the water. The guy got out. He jumped out.
Oh, my.
Other cars rode the bridge up and back down.
Wow.
I would have, that right there, I would have had to go to therapy forever or be hospitalized after that.
Well, I'm
There's no
sure
way.
you've been on that one on I-295 going up
Yes.
towards DC.
Yes.
That crazy look.
I hate that bridge.
First time
Yes.
I ever went across it, my sister kept telling me, "You're not going to like this bridge," and it was dark.
Yeah.
Oh,
And when you come around the bend and you see the lights on the bridge, it looks like it goes straight
Looks
up
like you're
into
going
heaven.
straight up. Yep.
And I was like, I'm not going. She goes, "You've got to." And I was like, I got on the bridge and she says, "What are you doing?" I said, "I'm not looking. I have my eyes closed." She goes, "No, you're driving." I'm like, "Oh, okay."
Yeah.
But that bridge was
I hate that
scary.
bridge.
The one in Newbern,
Uh-huh.
those in Newbern, oh man, you get they're curvy and they're high and they're
Yeah.
long. And if you're up on that one and there's a heavy wind,
It blows you around.
you talk about scared.
they had a high-speed
like
chase
bridges.
that actually originated in Onslow County back in the 70s. And I'm listening to the state troopers talk, and they got all the way to Wilmington, high speed. Highway patrol behind them. Several cars have been wrecked. Managed to get through College and Oleander Drive, which is like a nightmare.
Mhm.
It's like the worst day of traffic on Highway 24 near base time, right?
Yeah.
But it's that way all day. Anyway, heard one of the troopers call the Cape Fear Memorial Bridge and tell them to raise the bridge. One of the other troopers called back and said, "Tell them to raise it 3 feet."
Oh my. So they're going Dukes of Hazzard it. Okay. Oh wow.
No, that's like boom.
Vanishing point.
Yes,
Yeah.
vanishing point. There you go.
Anyway, they got him. He took a side road and he turned into a cemetery, an old cemetery. In
Oh,
in
no.
Wilmington.
Woke up the dead, didn't
Yeah, well, no, they woke him up.
he?
And then he got out one to fight. I mean, you just wrecked a whole bunch of police
It's
cars.
it's the adrenaline at that point. I think they just get out and I'm just going to keep on going.
Something really wrong. Hey, if you're you Trumpers out there, I've got a way that Donald can be elected
Okay.
without any further ado. I'm gonna let you listen to something. It's from 1995, and all Donald Trump has got to do is play this and use it in his campaign, and then say, "I'm Donald Trump, and I approve of this message."
Oh no.
Are you ready?
Oh no. Yes. Go
You
ahead.
sure?
No, but go ahead. Oh, that's. I heard the applause. I thought it was
All
your own.
Americans, not only in the states most heavily affected, but in every place in this country, are rightly disturbed by the large numbers of illegal aliens entering our country. The jobs they hold might otherwise be held by citizens or legal immigrants. The public service they use impose burdens on our taxpayers. That's why our administration has moved aggressively to secure our borders more, by hiring a record number of new border guards, by deporting twice as many criminal aliens as ever before, by cracking down on illegal hiring, by barring welfare benefits to illegal aliens. In the budget I will present to you, we will try to do more to speed the deportation of illegal aliens who are arrested for crimes, to better identify illegal aliens in the workplace, as recommended by the commission headed by former Congresswoman Barbara Jordan. We are a nation of immigrants, but we are also a nation of laws. It is wrong and ultimately self-defeating for a nation of immigrants to permit the kind of abuse of our immigration laws we have seen in recent years, and we must do more to stop it.
I'm Donald Trump, and I approve of this message. Isn't that about all you would have to say? That's Bill Clinton.
I was going to say, I thought that was Hillary's husband.
Mhm.
Bill Clinton from 1995, State of the Union Address.
1995.
Huh. Interesting.
I thought so.
Mhm. Well, I got a story for you
Go
out of
ahead.
Massachusetts. ATF had to be called in by the Sutton Police Department because they made this whole creative Facebook post and everything. So they had arrested a man at a little like Red Roof Inn hotel for possession of crack cocaine.
Mhm.
Turns out that's not all he had in his car. He had a U.S. Army rocket launcher. Yeah. So you're just driving around with that. Oh yeah. And his name is Harvey Johnson Jr. And they, as he was suspicious sitting in his car. So police were called and they go over there and they look and they could see, drug paraphernalia and stuff. And they located an M190 U.S. Army rocket launcher
Really?
in the car, in the back seat. Yeah, just hanging out.
Well, that's
Um,
stolen property.
And oh, he had crack cocaine too. So he was going to smoke some crack and fire off some rockets, I guess. And so they charged him with possession of crack cocaine and possession of an incendiary device. But they had to call the ATF because they're like, where did this weapon come from? And they came and got the rocket launcher.
I'm sure they did.
Yes. Very interesting. It had serial number and everything on it. Like it's U.S. Army property.
Oh,
They know
yeah.
this.
Well,
They're trying to figure out how he got it.
bought it or stole it.
Either or.
Somebody stole it.
Yep.
So,
And what was he going to do with it? Is the next question.
well, you got to get the ammo for it, number one.
I think he had. This was usable based on what I read.
But you got to have ammo for it.
Once
You can't
again,
go to Walmart and buy it.
no. Once again, I think he could have used this. Yeah. Let's just go to Rocket Launchers R Us and just pick up one.
There you go.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go ahead and take a break, do some weather, and then
We have guests.
a few minutes later, we're going to have a couple of fine gentlemen in here. And
I'm thirsty just thinking about it.
I've got
Drink
my
more
water
water.
right here.
They're from the water
I got
company.
my warm water right now.
I got my water right here.
I have mine mixed.
Mixed
coffee.
I'll say with.
I was going to say scotch.
No,
right.
no.
You're live at Local Real Talk, Freedom 97.1, 1120 a.m. WSME, and when the computer comes back online.
Oh my goodness. Are we having it Friday? Well, anyway,
It's a solar flare.
Yes, now we will take a break since I found the computer button that was lost.
Solar.
Hey, this is Chris Rainer, your host for Sports Talk. Tune in later this morning at 9 a.m. as our guest will be Red coach of Swansboro High School. We'll be previewing the big Coastal Conference match, the conference tournament. The co-host will be Robert Farley. We'll see you later this morning on Sports Talk on Freedom 97.1 WSME.
My brother-in-law died suddenly, and now my sister and her kids have to sell their home. That's why I told my husband we could not put off getting life insurance any longer. An agent offered us a 10-year, $500,000 policy for nearly $50 a month. Then we called SelectQuote. SelectQuote found us identical coverage for only $19 a month, a savings of $369 a year.
Whether you need a $500,000 policy or a $5 million policy, SelectQuote could save you more than 50% on term life insurance.
For your free quote, call SelectQuote at 1-800-290-5599. That's 1-800-290-5599. Or go to SelectQuote.com. 1-800-290-5599. That's 1-800-290-5599.
SelectQuote. We shop, you save. Full details on example policies at selectquote.com/commercials.
A plan every adult family member should consider is the pre-arranged funeral. It's the worry-saving thing to do for your family. Making pre-arrangements helps to alleviate the additional stress on family members that can come with arranging a loved one's funeral. Jones Funeral Home's prepaid funeral plan helps remove confusion. They make a practical evaluation of costs possible, and it's the best way to take an unpleasant task off the shoulders of the family. Call Jones Funeral Home at 455-1281.
With locations in Jacksonville, Ridgeland, Swansboro, and Holly Ridge.
Welcome to Lane & Associates Family Dentistry, where we love to make you smile. Now proud to be working with Doctors Kim and Tommy Morgan, formerly Morgan Family Dentistry. The Jacksonville and Richlands Morgan offices of Lane & Associates Family Dentistry blends the latest technology with personal care and attention, so you have an amazing dental experience. The offices of Lane & Associates welcome all ages and accepts all major insurances, including military. Lane & Associates Family Dentistry has been serving the state of North Carolina for over 40 years, with 2 locations in Jacksonville, Richlands, and Maysville. Call for an appointment today at 877-LANE-DDS or online at lanedds.com. Welcome to Lane & Associates Family Dentistry.
Flatwoods Outfitters of Hubert looks forward to serving you throughout the new year with all your sporting arm needs and personal safety. Located at 111 2nd Lane and Hubert between Jacksonville and Swansboro, Flatwoods Outfitters is Onslow County's oldest sporting and firearm facility. Flatwoods Outfitters has a long gun or pistol in stock to fit your need, whether for hunting or personal safety. Take advantage of their outdoor shooting range to practice or to learn how to safely operate your firearm, which Flatwoods highly recommends. At Flatwoods, you can sight in your scope to be sure of perfect accuracy to bag that trophy. They carry all the major brand names of long guns, shotguns, and pistols, as well as ammunition. If you are interested in a concealed weapon permit, Flatwoods Outfitters can assist with that also. Flatwoods Outfitters, 111 Second Amendment Lane, just off Highway 24 Hubert, where they aim to preserve our hunting heritage, wildlife, and Constitution.
Why vote for Republican candidate Suzanne Long on March 5th? Mrs. Long is a conservative Christian with 30 years of experience in Onslow County schools, serving as a teacher, principal, director of curriculum and instruction, and executive director of exceptional children's programming. She has the perspective of being a military child, military spouse, and mom of a Jacksonville high school graduate. March 5th, choose a voice for quality public education for children, quality vetted resources and support for staff, and quality commitment to the community. Choose Suzanne Long. Paid for by the committee to elect Suzanne Long for Onslow County Board of Education.
It's live and local. Real talk on Freedom 97.1, 1120 AM, WSME.
And I've talked about the great boats down on sale at Tideline Marine for a while. It's hard not to talk about them. The Lund fishing boats, for instance, are not the flimsy little John boats that a lot of folks know about. These are well-built boats meant to last a lifetime. They come in a variety of configurations, kind of like designing your own boat to fit your needs. If ocean fishing is your thing, you should take a look at one of the center console Aquasports for sale. Great for nearshore and offshore adventures. That's not all. If your interest is cruising with friends on area bays, rivers, or the intercoastal waterway, maybe with a lot of friends and family, one of the plushest and best constructed pontoon boats I've ever seen is on display right now. It's down at Tideline Marine, of course. Aloha Boats has been in business since the 1960s. It's certainly not one of those fly-by-night operations. Do yourself a favor and stop by Tideline to check out the boats they're offering. Tideline Marine, 159 Old Bridge Street on the banks of the New River in downtown Jacksonville. Small craft advisories in effect through tomorrow afternoon. Today, offshore, southwesterly winds 25 to 30 knots, gusts up to 40, seas 6 to 9 feet, 5 to 6 near shore. Dominant period 6 seconds. Sounds and rivers very rough. Saturday, northwesterly winds 10 to 15, seas 4 to 6, sounds and rivers a moderate chop. And on Sunday, northerly winds 15 to 20, becoming northwesterly 10 to 15 in the afternoon, then southwesterly 5 to 10 later in the day. Seas 2 to 4 feet. Sunday's looking pretty decent. Sounds and rivers choppy, diminishing to a moderate chop in the afternoon, and then diminishing to a light chop after that.
Today, showers with thunderstorms possible after 4 p.m. The high today will be 63. It'll be a little bit breezy, and then gusts as high as 23 miles an hour. Because it's an 80% chance of rain, we're looking at rainfall amounts between 1/2 and 3/4 of an inch. Tonight, partly cloudy, low of 41. Tomorrow, mostly sunny. I like that. A high of 60. I like that. It will be gusty with 15-mile-an-hour gusts, but it'll be sunny, so none of us care. Tomorrow night, it's going to be cold and cloudy, a low of 33. So, Rayford, you can have your fire tomorrow night. Sunday, sunny, high of 55, but not really windy. And then Sunday night, clear, low of 37. So I think 37 is acceptable for a fire as well.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So
Anything 40 and below is good for
so
fire.
You're good on Sunday, too. Saturday and Sunday, you can have your fire. No fire tonight.
Yeah, I don't need one tonight.
No.
Not
Well,
going to waste the
41,
wood.
but that's right on the cusp. Don't waste the wood.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, we got a couple of gentlemen in here this morning.
Come take a seat.
We're going to talk about water, and more water, and what's going on with the water. Royce Bennett from the Onslow County Board of Commissioners, and he's chairman of the board for ONWASA. ONWASA. I like
And
that
then
name.
we have the CEO with us.
Frankie.
How you doing?
I'm doing fine. How are you doing? Frankie Howard. Got lots of water out there, right?
Yes, plenty of water.
Good, clean water.
Very clean water.
And good tasting water too, right?
Yep.
The city of Jacksonville, of course, does their own thing.
Yes.
But ONWASA has taken over any number of other local or municipal operations, right?
We're pretty much everywhere else in the county. There's a small section in the northwestern part of the county that's northwest of Onslow, which is the other side of Richlands.
Mhm.
But everywhere else, we provide the water.
That's good.
Yeah. And in some areas of Jacksonville where we partner, where they don't have water lines, we would provide it. So there are some areas like that.
Are you still, is Scientific Water still in business? Are they still doing
there
water?
is still Scientific Water, which is pretty much right between Jacksonville and Onslow's territories on the Gum Branch Road area.
Yes.
So
Interesting.
it's a real small area. I think they have about 1,000 customers. So I'm not sure how many customers Northwest Onslow
Do you
has.
go out of Onslow any?
We provide water to Pender County at the Maple Hill area. So we do have a bulk water connection with them. It's not a lot of usage.
How about Morehead City, because they're in need, Brandywine is in need of water, good
I
water.
had not heard that. We have been asked for sewer capacity on that side of the county from Cedar Point earlier, like before my time here. But we have such a sewer need of our own. I don't think the board was interested in going across county lines for sewer at this point. So, but we have been asked to go into Carteret County for sewer, not water.
Wow.
Interesting.
What's going on? We got something good happening with the.
Always lots going on. Wanted to point out one thing, speaking of employees and what we've got going on. We've had a group of employees that volunteered to help the town of Pink Hill, talking about going outside the county. We were approached by one of our liaisons through the Rural Water Associations, which we participate in. They needed help with certified operators.
Oh, okay.
And we had a gentleman, Mark Young. You may be familiar with Mark Young. He was actually with Swansboro before Onwassa was formed and came with the team from Swansboro. But he stood up a team to go help Pink Hill. They needed certified operators. Everybody had left. Small town over in Lenoir County. So they took their own time off and got recognized in the magazine that Rural Water puts together last month. So it was pretty neat. Yep.
It's about 10 people, I think.
Yeah, it was about 10 people rotated on and
there to
off.
help.
Yeah, run their water and sewer plant.
Wow.
Yep.
Got a lot of great employees. Helped
yeah.
a lot with raised a lot of money and helped
we
for
have.
kids at Christmas,
Yes, we have.
Salvation Army, and doing a lot of good things in Onslow County besides providing good
That's
water
it.
and sewer
That's
service.
I understand you're helping the expo in Swansboro this weekend too.
That's right. We did help with the Swansboro. So we try to help and be good partners, where we can, where we've been asked to do. So we won't have a booth there, but I think they have, we sponsor so others could have a booth there. So that's good.
Yep, that
That's
worked out well.
great.
We, just a bit yesterday, and I'm going to talk about it in a few minutes as well. We don't have any software at that plant that's made in China, do we? At Onwassa?
That is a great question. I can't answer that with certainty because everything you touch near about comes from overseas. It seems that with the technologies, but we do have a pretty heightened security system now. We were involved in a security breach back in 2018,
I remember.
and we pretty much quadrupled our efforts. Had National Guard come in. They went through all our systems and they actually helped go through things and keep things moving. But yeah, we lost a lot of data during that time, unfortunately, because there was a ransomware attack. We didn't, fold, so to speak. So there's actually continued movement on that through investigations as we speak. So
good.
But we have to be careful about what we put out there on the internet,
Oh, yeah.
as far as our controls go,
Mhm.
because it came straight from the federal level that there's concerns about Chinese attacks. So
Yes. We got something on that here in a little bit too this morning. So even at our state ports, there are potential issues.
Exactly.
No.
Well, that would be a way to cripple the local communities.
It was
attack
phones
us.
Yeah, shut their
yesterday.
systems down. Yeah.
Here's a lot about that.
Shut the water off.
Yeah,
Shut the water off for a few days, we'll be in trouble.
we would have a
Everybody be in
problem.
trouble.
Yeah.
Yesterday it was phones, Kelly. It's
That was a
ramping back
solar
up.
I know
flare.
it.
I think that was.
No,
due to
it
the
was
solar
not.
flare.
Had nothing to do with it.
Didn't have
That
to
is
do with
a
that solar
fallacy.
flare?
Nothing to do with it.
So just
Just
AT&T don't know how to
ironic.
keep their equipment up.
Somebody, it was human error.
Oh, even
Somebody
better.
has to be involved. Somebody had failed to do something.
Oh,
imagine
even
that.
better.
Got to flip that switch when they got up.
But we partner with the base too. I was going to point out that their IT department actually reached out to me. Ironic enough, is one of a church member of mine that works on base, and they invited us to participate in some information sharing, and hopefully we're going to use one of their vendors to do some additional cybersecurity stuff for Onwassa.
Do you provide water to the base?
We have mutual connections, and they're asking for more in areas that are isolated from their system, or just to have a redundant hookup for emergency purposes.
Do they have their own system there?
Yes, they do.
Okay. I
We
didn't
actually
know that.
do at the New River base. We actually purchase water in peak times from that system.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
We also partner with Surf City. We buy some water from Surf City.
Yeah.
So, there are a lot of collaboration between Onwassa and our adjoining partners in different areas.
A lot like the power grids.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, here's a crazy question. If we didn't have Onwassa, it would be the county responsible for providing the water, right?
Well, before Onwassa, the county had a water system that the county operated. Yeah, and all of the municipalities did too. You had Swansboro and Richlands and Holly Ridge all had their own systems. So the agreement for Onwassa was to bring all those systems together and form a regional or joint process.
Okay.
A lot of people, there's a huge need now for sewer service, but Onwassa's original mission was to provide potable water. It wasn't to provide sewer. We kind of got into the sewer business by default because different systems. Richlands had their own system, and they couldn't run a sewer system and not a water system at the same time. That didn't make sense. So it kind of got into sewer by default, and sewer's a challenge in Onslow County. So.
Well, are people wanting to switch to sewer systems like county people because they just don't want to deal with septic anymore? Is that what the issue is, or is there some other reason?
Well, there are a lot of areas in the county where septic systems are failing because of the water table. And when your septic system fails, you got a problem.
Okay. That makes sense.
The other thing is that, our builders, as we grow and our population continues to expand, builders need to build more houses on smaller properties, smaller lots.
Yeah.
And it takes almost a half acre
That's a minimum
of land, to have a septic system.
Oh.
So you can build. Our houses in the city are mostly on a tenth of an acre. Or
you can squeeze them in.
Tenth of an acre lots, and so you can put a whole lot more houses on an acre if you have sewer service.
Okay, that makes sense.
Well, getting back to the sewer service, tell us about Burton Park. Now, wasn't there some issue with providing? Do you do that area, Burton Park? Okay, wasn't there an issue or something being said about having the correct line? I think there's like 9-inch lines, whatever, because I think I remember one of the commissioners saying that was one of the issues that they had to tackle in that area.
It's not in Burton Park. I think it's the communities around it. There's Hines Farm was an area that had a smaller water line because it's a dead end. And it doesn't have proper sizing for, I think, the fire hydrants that were wanted in that area. I'm not sure, for me, with Burton Park itself having too small of water lines.
Yeah, when Burton Park was built, I think the infrastructure was put in for growth, expecting growth. I don't know what you would be referring to, but
as a matter of fact, it was City
the
of Jacksonville.
city
when it
actually
first-
has a sewer line that goes right through the middle of Burton Park out to their sewer plant.
Okay.
So there are actually a couple of sewer systems available out there.
Very good.
Okay.
So back to Heinz Farm, are you going to be able to get bigger lines in there? A bigger line in there?
Well, we haven't got an active project to do that. Not necessarily. I think what we've tried to work with is the fire department sort of working as an educational piece to let the community know that they don't rely on the hydrants specifically. They got a water shuttle model, I think, in certain cases where they move water in and out of areas that they need.
It kind of goes back to the point that we were, Onwassa was meant or intended originally to provide potable water. And you don't have to have 6-inch water lines to provide potable water. So what happens is that way back when, 2-inch water lines were installed.
Yep.
And the 2-inch water line will not support a fire hydrant.
Right.
So people think that they don't have a fire hydrant in their neighborhood. They don't understand it's because the water lines aren't big enough to support a fire hydrant.
Yep.
But we did several years ago have meetings with the volunteer fire departments to make sure that they don't rely on hydrants to fight fires. They all have, all of our volunteer fire departments, I think, have water trucks.
Yes.
Where they can haul their own water and they don't need fire hydrants to
You know, one
protect the
time,
citizens.
and other areas too, but at one time we had some towers, water tanks
Oh, yes, yes.
Oh, yeah.
that we used to use.
And we actually have our own water towers for pressure purposes and distribution. There happens to be one right there in Burton Park.
Okay.
That we're using. So
Okay. Well, that's that gives you an
Interesting.
emergency supply too, right there.
absolutely, yeah, we have several of those throughout the county, and we're actually looking at exploring a piece of land there in Burton Park for a new water treatment plant.
Okay.
For our needs in that area.
So let's talk about growth a minute.
That's what I was going to mention.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, Onwassa put on 1,346 new accounts in the last 12 months.
How many?
1,346. That's
New ones.
That's 112 a month over the last 12 months.
A lot.
We have right now about 54,000 customers.
Do we have that much water?
Yes,
just gonna ask, where does the water come from?
yeah, that's a 2.5 to 5%, 5% year over year growth in our water usage in Onslow County.
Yep.
And that's been going on for 5 or 6 years now. So yeah, obviously finding new sources of water and building new water plants is a priority for Onwassa, because we don't want to get to the point where we have to say, sorry, we don't have any water.
Right.
So yeah, the Burton Park project, looking at possibly another treatment plant and some wells in and around Burton Park to support growth in that area. Looking at new wells out in Holly Ridge
for Dixon.
That area
to
is really
supply the
growing.
Dixon plant.
Yes.
The Dixon plant has the capacity, I think, to treat a whole lot more water.
We're working
than
on
what
it,
it does.
improving it, and we just need the raw water wells to feed it. One of the limitations there is that we have to discharge a certain part of that water because it goes through an RO system, so there's some waste there. So we're working with the state and our engineers to see how we mitigate that. But we're trying to take it from a 4 million gallon per day plant to a 6 million gallon per day plant. So that's quite the challenge. That area alone, we talked about 5% growth countywide, but that area saw 10 to 12% growth the last 2 years in just that little small area of the county. So we're sort of landlocked if you think about the base at Dixon. So there's not a lot of area to search for water. So we're limited down there.
We got 35 water wells already running
Really?
in Onslow County. So we're pumping a lot of water.
Part of the issue too is transmission of that water. So we'd like to be able to share water between the areas of the county. So we're working on increasing the line between Dixon and Verona on Highway 17 because it's sort of a bottleneck to try to get water either direction when we're needing to move it throughout the county. So that's part of the issue.
It kind of goes back to the history. If you think about it, they were pumping and supplying water in Holly Ridge, and then they were pumping and supplying water in Jacksonville, but there wasn't a way to get the water between Holly Ridge and Jacksonville or Richlands and other parts of the county. So, and installing lines underground is a huge expense.
Yeah, there's a lot involved in that. A lot of communities used to have independent water production companies, like a private company here, there, and everywhere. Did we have any of that in Onslow County? Did we?
We've had a few over the years.
Like communities water.
Yes. And there's that one Northwest Onslow that has I think they have 3 wells that supply a handful of customers up on the north part of Richlands. And that was an area that the county didn't have water lines back then because Richlands had their own system and they were demand for county water up there.
I remember seeing on their towers, the town of perfect water.
That's right. That's right. And because of that, because they use Black Creek wells, those are our deepest wells in the system. They can be anywhere from 800 feet or 400 feet in that zone. So that's some very pure water when you're pulling it from that deep in the ground.
Yeah, well filtered.
By the earth.
You know, something else people don't think about is water goes bad. If you take a bucket of water and sit it in your house and just leave it sitting there, you can't drink it after a few days. It starts to get slime in it and starts. Well, and when you have a 6-inch water line and it's not getting used enough, the water's not flushing through it. That water in those pipes go bad.
Wow.
So people, a lot of times people don't understand, you know, they've got a 2-inch water main, which doesn't support a fire hydrant, but there are only 5 or 6 houses on the whole road. You know, you can't afford to have all that water. How many, you know, off the top of your head, how many gallons of water? I've seen the stats are sitting in water pipes.
It's on our by the numbers, millions of
gallons of water that we have that's actually sitting in water pipes all over the county. And that water has to either be used or it has to be dumped because it can't stay in those pipes more than.
How do you keep up with all that?
I don't know that one. That's a job for the CEO.
We've got good employees. That's what it's about. And we have water quality technicians, and then we actually added positions for that this past budget. So they actually go out and sample parts of the system. They have to check for chlorine levels, and if it's not adequate, they'll flush the lines. And we have some automatic flush valves out in the system that run on a timer just for that purpose. One I can think of specifically is White Oak River Road. For whatever reason, we built a 12-inch line down White Oak River Road. I think there was some potential for future development through the Hoffman Forest. Just never happened. You know, back when they were talking about selling it. But we have a 12-inch water line that goes all the way down White Oak River Road. It's basically a big dead end. And so it has to be constantly flushed.
So where does the water go when you flush it? You just turn on a spigot somewhere?
Yep.
Run it into the ground.
It goes up. It goes right into the ditch.
That probably goes into the river.
Out that way.
The White Oak River.
Yeah. Sometimes you'll see hydrants flushing,
Yes,
and it's just going right to the ditch. That's most common.
Yeah,
You know,
that's
if
the
there's-
firefighters
That's a
out there
waste. That's a lot of
testing
water that we had to pay to treat, and it's got to go away. But you can't keep it, but just so long.
14
Like the
million
groceries.
gallons. That's what
14 million gallons.
14.4
Okay.
million gallons.
Can't you just fill up some plastic bottles with it and sell it?
I know, right?
I know it. I wish.
How long will those bottles last, by the way?
They have some science behind that too, and if you believe it or not, you'll see there's an expiration date on it. But they're sealed, so it's a little different situation. But with ours, it's open and you got constant, flow. And the state requires it by law to have a certain residual of chlorine in there to fight off any potential bacteria that may be in the
And
lines.
the chlorine will also evaporate too.
Yep.
It dissipates, I guess.
Yep.
Wow. This water business is a big business.
It is.
Let's
It
take a
is.
quick break. You're live in local Real Talk Freedom 97.1, 1120 AM, WSME, and we will be right back.
Casey Kasem has unlocked the American Top 40 vaults and is replaying original shows from the 70s. This week, Casey takes you back to February 26, 1972. That's when the Carpenters stopped hurting each other. The Osmonds went down by the lazy river. Neil Young had a heart of gold. And Grand Funk Railroad played some foot-stomping music. You'll hear those songs and all the top 40 hits from February 26, 1972, right here on American Top 40, the 70s.
Check out Casey Saturday mornings 8 to 11 on Freedom 97.1, 1120 AM, WSME.
Chico's Tires, 2320 Wilmington Highway is Jacksonville's oldest tire company, and now Jacksonville's newest tire company is Little Chico's, located at 1675 North Marine Boulevard. Little Chico's carries all the major brands and all sizes, such as Michelin, Goodyear, BF Goodrich, Bridgestone, and many others, and all new tires have warranty. In addition to a great selection of new tires, Little Chico's has used tires starting at only $30. In addition to new and used tires, Little Chico's does brake service, Myra Auto and Truck Repair, expert custom window tinting, and towing. So if you need tires, new or used, brake service, Myra Auto and Truck Repair, expert window tinting, or if you need a tow, visit Jacksonville's newest tire store, Little Chico's, 1675 North Marine Boulevard. By phone 910-333-0473 for Little Chico's Tire Service, located at 1675 North Marine Boulevard, right here in Jacksonville.
Looking for a job? Full-time? Part-time? Il Cigno Italiano Restaurant wants you. We're currently hiring for hostesses, servers, bartenders, and dishwashers. Il Cigno Italiano is a family-owned, fast-paced restaurant that offers the best in fine dining on the Crystal Coast. If you're hardworking, reliable, professional, and have a desire to always strive for better, we want to talk to you. Make great money and be a part of an outstanding, dedicated team. Il Cigno Italiano on West Corbett Avenue in Swansboro.
Hi, my name is Michelle Halley, and I'm running for a seat on the Onslow County Board of Education. I have lived in Onslow County for over 40 years and have a vested interest in the community and the school system. I want to serve on the Board of Education because I am a firm supporter and believer of public education and wish to work collaboratively with others to support the students, employees of the system, and the community. I believe in developing effective partnerships with all stakeholders to ensure continued success. Together, we can provide the opportunity for an excellent education for all our students. A quality school system is vital to the success of Onslow County. Please use your voice and vote in the upcoming Onslow primary. Together, we can make a difference. Thank you and have a fantastic day. Paid for by the committee to elect Michelle Halley, Board of Education.
When you need comforting, who do you call? An old friend, right? Jacksonville Heating Contractors services the heating and cooling needs of our area with dependable quality train systems, guaranteeing indoor comfort for your home or business. In addition to quality train systems, Jacksonville Heating Contractors offers 24-hour emergency service, NATE certified technicians, and over 50 years of experience and service you can trust. And with a Jacksonville Heating Contractor service agreement, you never pay retail for heating or cooling services and receive priority scheduling. Remember, an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. And in New Bern, you can call Trent Heating and Air Conditioning 252-633-2200. In Morehead City, Sea Air Heating and Cooling 252-247-1122. If you need service or repairs, just call an old friend. Jacksonville Heating Contractors, an independent train dealer. It's hard to stop a train. For deals on train systems and more, visit anoldfriend.com or call 910-347-2843.
In planning for Onslow County's future, finding the right balance between progress and preservation is key. We aim to support growth without sacrificing our agricultural heritage and strong neighborhoods. To make sure we grow responsibly, let's use new taxes wisely. This means tackling challenges like improving essential services, protecting the environment, and ensuring quality education. Tony Padgett stands out as the sole candidate with a unique combination of experience, having served both as a Board of Commissioners chairman and a dedicated employee of Onslow County. A lifelong resident of Onslow County, Tony's unwavering commitment to public service is marked by utmost honor and dedication. He advocates for a streamlined yet robust local government that prioritizes the well-being of Onslow County citizens. Choose Tony Padgett for Onslow Commissioner, a visionary leader planning for our community's future. Paid for by Tony Padgett for Onslow Commissioner.
It's live and local. Real talk on Freedom 97.1 WSME.
And we are back live and local in the studio with us. We have Royce Bennett, chairman of the ONWASA Board of Directors. And also we have the CEO, Frankie Howard. And on the phone, the one, the only Donkey Man. Good morning, Timmy. What's up?
What's up this morning? Hey to the hall. I swear you got two fine characters in there this morning. Now, I'm going to tell you, we got a Jones County transplant, and you just can't say a whole lot bad about Royce because it would take too long. I'm picking on you. Frank, I want to tell you something. I was tickled to death when you got the job. I've known you and your family for long. You don't remember me, but I'm real good friends with Philip Glunn and his brother, stuff about the farming part. But I was tickled to death. I thought you did a great job in Jones County too, by the way.
Thank you.
And and when you got the job for ONWASA, I was tickled, and you made some changes, and I think they were fantastic changes. What I saw, but y'all were talking about your hydrants, and what I wanted to say when they put the county water in, they put these hydrants down the highway. on the highway. And I will never forget, after everything was established, I was fire commissioner for Rosetown Volunteer Fire Department. We had a fire commission meeting every month, and we had a bunch of people came in, and they had data, and they had all kinds of stuff. And Cecil Morton was on that fire commission board. And I will never forget it, but they were talking about the pressure's not there for the fire hydrants, and we don't have enough pressure, and we don't. And Cecil Morton stood up. He said, folks, I need to tell you something. These are not fire hydrants. These are labeled as fill-up hydrants. You cannot hook a truck to this fire hydrant and run 3 2.5-inch lines off of it and keep it full. You can't do it. And he explained how the fire hydrants work. See, what the county did, they put these fill-up hydrants in certain places to help. And we bought, they look like swimming pools for some of the fire trucks. And we would set them up at a structure fire, and we would take the water tanks and run back and forth from fill-up hydrants and keep that pool full to put the fire out. And that's what I was saying. And I will never forget Cecil Morton. He just stood up and said, look, y'all don't understand. If you look at your homeowner's insurance bill, in about another month or two, you're going to see your rates going to drop because of the fill-up hydrants. And I will never forget my daddy come in. He said, man, my house insurance dropped a little bit. And that was one of the biggest reasons the homeowner insurance drops out in the country, was because the county, when they put the water system in, they put those fill-up hydrants in there. And that's that was your little bit of history. You're not supposed to call them fire hydrants. They're labeled as fill-up hydrants. But I want to get back. Frankie, I appreciate you going to work for Onwassa. I think you've done some good things. I really do. I'll get off of here and let y'all continue. Royce, I don't know what we can do with you. But anyway, okay.
I just leave it to Frankie. He's doing a good job.
Yeah.
I do think Frankie's doing an excellent job. I want to say that, Frankie. Y'all be good. I'm going to get off here. Y'all be sweet and have a great weekend.
Thank
you, Timmy.
All right.
Bye. He's a mess. I don't know.
Hey, good information.
Yeah, he's always got good information.
Yep. We did the same thing in Jones. We had to do water shuttles, and it really does save you on your homeowner's insurance.
So, yep. They do that in a lot of counties.
Yep.
All right, let's take another break here live in local Real Talk, Freedom 97.1, 1120 AM, WSME, and we'll be right back after these commercials.
WSME.
Have you gotten your copy of Topsail Times newspaper this week? If not, did you know that Topsail Times is Topsail area's only local newspaper in print? Started a little over a year ago, we now have over 1,500 online and 5,000 printed copies that go out every 2 weeks. And we never charge our readers. Information should be free to our readers, and we stick by that. Looking for an idea for date night? Want to learn some local history? How about asking a veterinarian about your pet? These things and more are available in each copy of the Topsail Times newspaper. Want to get the word out about your business? We offer great rates for full color ads, and the online paper version is always included for free. Need help designing the perfect ad? We can do that too. We're always looking for human interest stories, so start writing. And we love local photos too. Check out our website at topsailtimes.net, where you can find out where to pick up a copy or check out our latest publication online.
Head out to the Swansboro Area Business Showcase on Saturday, February 24th at the beautiful Swansboro Rotary Civic Center. Doors open at 10 a.m. Admission is free. Check out products and services from area companies. Sample free signature menu items from local restaurants from 11 a.m. until 1 p.m. Enjoy entertainment on the big stage from youth organizations and local groups. For more information, log on to swansborochamber.org or call 910-326-1174.
I am Paul Buchanan, running for re-election as an Onslow County Commissioner. No false promises, just a firm commitment to serve the citizens of this county to the best of my ability. As a county, we face many challenges ahead. Navigating through those challenges requires seasoned, dedicated leadership. Your voice is an important part of the government of this county. I will continue to make sure your voice is heard. I will continue to do my very best to serve all the citizens of Onslow County. My goal is to provide the maximum support, vital services in this county possible. With the realities of the resources available, let us work together to make our county the best it can be. Every election is determined by the people who show up. I ask for your continued support and your vote on Tuesday, March 5th, paid for by the candidate.
Hello, shoppers. Take advantage of the following specials and many, many more at your locally owned and operated Piggly Wiggly store where good things cost less. Down home, down the street on Main Street in Maysville. And remember to take advantage of Pig Perks where you get 1 point for every $1 you spend on future purchases. How about Sweetheart Steaks, just $10.99 a pound? Boneless ribeye steak is only $10.99 a pound. Boneless chuck roast, $5.79 a pound. 10 pounds or more fresh ground chuck is only $3.99 a pound. Whole Boston butt, just $1.49 a pound. And St. Louis style ribs are $1.99 a pound. And whole chickens are just $1.49 a pound. And remember, the beef and pork is cut fresh every day by the butchers at your locally owned and operated Piggly Wiggly store. And they use only the finest and certified Angus beef and Sanderson Farm chicken. Over in produce, you get a 2-pound package of fresh strawberries for just $5.98. Fresh blueberries are only $3.99 a pint. Russet baking potatoes, great with steaks, just 99 cents a pound. A dozen premium rose bouquets, just $27.99 each. Zesty limes are only 49 cents each. Large California lemons, just 69 cents each. And hot jalapeno peppers are just $1.99 a pound. And you also get 3 6-packs of the 16-ounce non-returnable bottles of Pepsi or Mountain Dew for just $11. That's your locally owned and operated Piggly Wiggly store where good things cost less. Down home, down the street, Main Street in Maysville. Remember, say big with the pig.
Freedom 97.1 WSME.
It's live and local real talk on Freedom 97.1 WSME.
And we're back. And again, in the studio, we had Frankie Howard from CEO of Onwassa, chairman of the board, Frank Sinatra, Royce Bennett.
Yeah, can you sing, Royce? You do. I heard that you sung in church.
Yeah. But yeah, what are we doing to expand to provide services? We got a real service issue on North Topsail Beach, especially when the population goes from 600 to 30,000
on a weekend.
Yeah. Let's talk about the expansion in North Topsail Beach.
Yeah.
Frankie.
So we've been working on a project for a few years now to put a booster pumping station right there next to the town hall. So we've been working with our engineers and figured that would be the best place, and it'll pump either direction or both directions on the island. So that's about the central point. We've had pressure issues, like Roy says, when the population quadruples out there during the holiday season. 4th of July seems to be the pinnacle date that we seem to have pressure issues over the years. So ironically enough, with this particular project, it won't be up and running this season like we hoped due to supply chain issues. You know, everything we touch and deal with has supply chain issues. The pumps themselves will be delivered, I think, on around July 4th due to their timeline. But we're hopefully have it up and going by October is the current schedule. Fortunately, we have that partnership we talked about earlier with Surf City. We took about 1,000 metered connections and turned them over to our emergency interconnection with Surf City. So we're actually buying water from Surf City. They have several water towers in the vicinity of that area of Onslow County, so it helps with pressure. And they had the capacity to serve it. So we're fortunate to have that partnership. Hopefully when this booster station comes online, we can help balance the water pressure there on the island. Some of the issues that do occur is we serve a lot of large buildings down there, multi-story buildings. Yes. And so to take the water pressure from where it has to be at the ground level up several floors, it's a pretty big challenge for our system. So hopefully this booster station will help at least get it above the minimum standards down there. And we do try to encourage folks that are putting in new structures that are going to be multi-story to consider a booster station for their own system once it gets past our meter, and then it'll boost it up.
Could it not be a requirement at the county level, Royce, for that to happen?
I don't know why it wouldn't be.
That's a good question.
I don't know if it is or not. Yeah, I would think that we would require that in new buildings.
And
it's hard to do something with the ones that have been there for 20 years. But I'd have to look at that, but I can't imagine that we don't.
Keep in mind, this is in North Topsail too, so city limits.
Just, I mean, the county has, and the city does too, has what's called a technical review committee.
Yeah.
And when somebody brings a big project like that to Onslow County, that goes into the technical review committee, and the committee includes ONWASA and utilities, electrical, and all of the different players, DOT, all the different players that are affected by a development. And the technical review committee is tasked with looking at things like that. And I would think, surely that ONWASA would say, "Whoa, wait a minute, we can't get water up to the 7th floor without some kind of booster pump."
As an example, we had a large project come to TRC, or I think it's in the process right there before you go onto the island on the county side, and it could have a potential huge impact on our water pressure. So I think our comments back to them was we may need its own tower within this little community to help with pressure. So that might be a requirement that's put back on the developer. So, but I think that was over 1,000 homes for that particular tract of land. Yeah.
Wow.
So
I know where you're talking about.
1,000 homes will be what, 3,000 people?
Yep.
Probably, yeah.
Easily.
2.6 per
Per
house.
Yeah.
Want to see what that 0.6 looks like?
Yeah.
That's a little guy.
Not full grown yet.
Oh, me.
But we're hoping to do a groundbreaking for that particular project. We've officially let the contract, and we've awarded it. It's a local contractor here in Jacksonville, actually Carolina Utilities, and they're working with our engineers to get that up and going. They've done some official dirt turning out there looking for water lines and where they're going to set up. So, but hopefully in the next month we'll have a date and we'll publicize that. So,
do you have a lot of problems with construction, road crews, or somebody else going in making improvements? How it used to be on a regular basis. Hey, you got to boil your water now.
Yeah.
Do you have as much of that anymore?
It hasn't been quite as often. The most recent issue we had were with the fiber optic companies that were coming throughout the county.
Oh, yeah.
And they were hitting our service lines mainly, not the main lines. We were fortunate to get those marked, but a lot of times they'll just plow right through a service line and fix it after the fact. That causes interruptions for the individual customer, obviously. But yeah, we've had a lot of that. And we try to work with those companies, but they're fast and furious. They're just trying to get something in the ground, and they won't wait for proper locations.
About it's been a year ago when they were working on Belfort Road. The contractors hit our water mains 2 or 3 times and put out hundreds of customers at a time. We got all kinds of complaints about that. But yeah, when the major project like that, they're dealing with some big water lines.
But isn't there some way for like the county or the city, depending on where it is, to go in and fine them for negligence like that?
We will definitely charge them.
Okay.
When they didn't properly locate or call for a locate, or if we did locate it and they still hit it, they'll definitely.
Aren't you supposed to call like 811 or something like that before you dig?
Yep. That's true. We added a new locator position this past year because we were getting so many requests for locates. It was almost impossible to keep up with them. It was several thousand a year locate. So it's like 100 and some.
That's a good segue into leak week.
That's true. Later on
Did you say leak week?
Leak week. Yeah.
Fix a leak week is it's coming up in March. Yeah, March 18th through 24th. I put it in my newsletter that's going to be coming out to customers next month. But Fix a Leak Week, it's a national observation. So just kind of encourages folks to look at their own water usage and determine if they've got leaks within their system. A lot of times you'll have a toilet that might leak.
I had one of those a few years ago.
And it's
did
amazing.
not know it.
One right now, I'm getting ready to
Did not know it. And then I got a bill. I said, then I found out.
Yes.
And then I sat right there and listened to all 3 of them that we've got in this house to see if it was that, because that was I was more suspicious of that than anything else, because everything else I could see.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. And then when it popped on and I started timing at the intervals, and, this could be a lot of water.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And it was a lot of water, a lot of money.
A lot of people don't realize that water, it costs to produce that water.
Yeah.
It's not just something that comes out of the ground and we send to you. And it costs more today than it did last year or the year before, because the processing increases, the cost of the processing increases. And every gallon that we can save is a gallon that we don't have to spend money to process again. So.
Yeah. And it's not only on the customer side, we're constantly looking for leaks within our system. And so I just encourage folks, if they're out in the community and they see something suspicious where it's been dry for a while and there's water in a ditch perhaps, or in an area that's not normally wet, give us a call. We'll go out there and make sure it's not our water line leaking, because we want to know.
It's not yours, but there was one up here on Country Club Drive.
Oh, yeah.
That it just kept on. I thought it was somebody weird
Yeah.
going on there, but it kept on and on and on and on. And it was from a guy's house that I knew pretty well.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So I actually called the city on that one.
Cool.
They finally came out, fixed it. It moved it to another location.
That's how it goes. That's how it goes. We had the same situation happen on Gun Branch with one. We went out, thought we'd fixed it, then it popped up across the street. So it's just like it finds the path of least resistance, I guess. And
apparently
some of these older lines, I mean, think about it. They've been in the ground for 50 plus years. And so it's just a matter of time that something's going to break loose. So we're battling that out on the island. Speaking of the island, and we've got some leaks out there that we're trying to define, and that's probably the hardest place in the county to see a leak because it's so sandy out there. And so if you've got a leak underground, it's just going to stay underground. So we've actually, I was telling Royce in the break, we've got a company that reached out to us that uses satellite imagery technologies to look for water leaks underground. And
Not made in China, is it?
I don't know. That's a good question.
Probably is. Probably is.
According to their website, this is the same technology that they use to find water on the moon. So we'll see how good it is.
Wow.
We're going to get a demonstration on it. So we might can use it, in certain areas of the county to pinpoint areas. Then we would go dig for leaks. So it'd be kind of interesting.
Well, that's pretty clever.
I'm sure it's costly, but
no doubt. Probably cheaper in the long run.
It could be very cheaper in the long run.
Gentlemen, thank you.
Yes, thank you for having us.
Appreciate you having us.
Yep.
We could probably talk another hour on
We
this.
really could.
Well, there'll be more topics. We'll come up with some.
Yes.
Speaking of, we might do something like creative. We talked about our Northwest plant should be up where our final walkthrough is next week. We've had that project going on forever since Hurricane Florence. So we may invite you guys out and do a live out there if we can work out the technology. At least have a grand opening, if you will, for that.
You got an
plant.
internet out there?
We do have some internet and communication.
That's all I need.
Yeah, we go out and test the internet. We'll see how good it is.
Yeah, we talked about that the other day. Yeah.
Not a problem. We can do it. Live from the border plant.
Yeah, the sewer plant. It's a sewer plant. Yeah, even better. We'll stay inside.
I'm going to reserve the jokes.
All right, gentlemen, thank you.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
Second break and live and local Real Talk Freedom 97.1, 1120 AM. WSME Fox News is now.
WSME, Camp Lejeune, W246 CJ, Jacksonville.
Fox News, I'm Chris Foster. The last day of campaigning before the South Carolina Republican primary tomorrow, former Governor Nikki Haley says in an event in Georgetown, South Carolina, win or lose to Donald Trump, she's staying in the race.
South Carolinians deserve the right to vote, as do every other state after that. Let's let them vote.
She's hurting the party, but I don't care. Let her run, because think of it, if she's not running, they're not talking about us. So maybe it's better if she runs a little bit.
Trump at a religious broadcasters convention in Nashville. Russian opposition leader Alexei Navalny's mother says she has seen his body but is not allowed to claim it and has been threatened to agree to a secret funeral. He died in prison a week ago. President Biden's been in San Francisco with his widow and daughter.
We're going to be announcing the sanctions against Putin, who is responsible for his death.
This will be announced today. Navalny's daughter, Dasha, is a student at Stanford University in California. America's listening to Fox News.
Freedom 97.1.
WSME.
It's live and local. Real talk.
Great conversation. Very extremely interesting. When you're talking about services for us's, all of us, and the amount of work, the amount of money that it takes to just open a tap and get some water out of it.
Well, it's just like we were talking about during the commercial time. You take so much for granted, and what they actually have to go through to produce good quality drinking water, cooking water for cooking, etc.
Yeah.
I mean, you just don't think about it.
No, you don't.
Interesting.
We touched on it a few minutes ago. Big talk across the United States was the interruption of cellular service for tens of thousands of consumers beginning about 3 o'clock yesterday morning. The problem seems to have centered with AT&T, but other carriers were also impacted. As of late Thursday, most of the service had been restored. No official cause for the outage has been offered, though a news network right up front said it could be the result of solar flares. Fact is, that is not a fact. There have been some massive solar flares. We know about them. If you work ham radio, you know about them for one thing, and they are continuing. Some communications are impacted, but the cellular phone frequencies are not. Not with this band of solar flares. These are the X band of solar flares that they've got up there. High frequencies where many amateur radios operate and some other radio communications have been impacted in not a good way. Apparently it's a little bit better this morning because just before you walked in, I was talking to a guy in France. Talked a little bit yesterday too about all the maritime ports across the United States and their container cranes. Seems that 80% of those cranes, including a number at the North Carolina ports here, were manufactured in China. And each is equipped with computers powered by software built by the Chinese. Is there a threat of a cybersecurity threat here? Is there a problem, do you think? U.S. Senator Marco Rubio warned on social media yesterday that the AT&T outage affecting tens of thousands of Americans pales in comparison to what a potential China cyber attack would look like. He predicts that it will be 100 times worse when China launches a cyber attack on America on the eve of a Taiwan invasion. Cell phones won't be the only service impacted. Power grids, the internet, water, banks, pretty much everything we rely on every day can be attacked, bringing this country to its knees. We know about the Chinese spy balloons that crossed the U.S. last year. We don't know how much data they were able to get from military locations, nuclear power plants, our banks, the Pentagon, and our water systems. Earlier this month, FBI Director Christopher Wray warned that China's cyber attacks against the U.S. and its allies are reaching a fever pitch. Chinese hacking groups can maintain access to U.S. infrastructure systems. You get this? For 5 years.
Wow.
Then they got discovered. 5 long years. No telling how much crap they planted on our systems. You ever had your computer to lock up with a virus or whatever?
Oh, just the other day.
According to the Joint Cybersecurity Advisory Committee, they said the hackers have infiltrated communications, energy, transportation systems, and wastewater systems all across the country and in other countries. No telling what bugs are in place waiting to be activated at the thousands of Chinese-built cranes and ports all over this country. Just imagine somebody plants a bug in there when they're doing critical things. I've been in those cranes. That's a massive operation. It's not some guy out there just moving some levers. Those computers are taking control. Can you imagine with ships at the port, at the dock, when things go completely wrong?
Yeah,
It's scary. Once again, taking things for granted, aren't we?
How about our U.S. Navy in Norfolk?
Yeah.
They got nuclear submarines and ships there.
Once again, scary.
How about the nuclear power plants? We've got one not very far from here, down in Brunswick County.
Oh, that's right. We do. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Forgot about that. We do.
I used to live within the 10-mile blast radius.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I know.
Nice.
You were talking about hacks and stuff like that on your computer just earlier this week. I was on Facebook and I saw a very interesting story and clicked on it. And as soon as I did, I had all these alarms, bells, and whistles come up like, do not touch your computer. Your computer has been,
Call this number.
Call this number. And I was like, don't cut off your computer. I took a video of it.
I had the same thing. But let me tell you what I call my computer geek.
Mhm.
And I mean, a good guy. He said, go ahead and do what you can. Shut it down and then turn it on real quick, and before that thing can pop up, disconnect from the internet. That's one.
Mm-hmm.
He said, and then when it pops up again, it won't pop up while you're disconnected.
Right.
But then go ahead and turn it back on, and then go to turn it off and hold the button down, the power button down for 15 seconds, even after the computer shuts down.
Wow.
Start over.
Well,
Did it work?
It did work.
Good to know.
I've pretty much figured mine was just a, it was one of those hacks or whatever.
Yeah,
But,
but you can't make it go away.
No.
I did. I turned my computer off. Well, see, my antivirus never came on, and my antivirus would have come on first. So I knew whatever link I clicked on, and it was the news story, which you can't believe everything on Facebook.
No, you can't.
And that's what happened. So I cut it off, rebooted. Everything was fine.
Well, mine would not go
Ran
away.
a scan.
I've had one not go away before. Yeah,
That's scary.
But that was the cure.
I
Just
gotta remember
turn it
that.
on after you turn it off. Turn it back on, and before that pop goes up again,
Yeah, hit that
click
internet.
out of the
Okay.
kill the internet, and then turn it off and hold the button down for 15 seconds.
I remember that. Okay, I can do
Okay.
that. Yeah.
I'll try.
Okay.
Did you see that yesterday or last night? The United States has landed an unmanned spacecraft on the moon.
I watched
First one
that.
since 1972.
That was so interesting.
There are 5 countries, I think, have done that now.
Yeah.
So
Very exciting.
one of our sailors, a U.S. Navy sailor stationed in Japan, is charged with espionage and communicating defense information to a foreign citizen.
Saw that.
Chief Petty Officer Fire Controlman Bryce Pedicini, assigned to the Japan-based guided missile destroyer USS Higgins, is accused of smuggling classified information and giving the information to an employee of a foreign government between November 2022 and February 2023 in Hampton Roads, Virginia. Charging documents claim Pedicini also tried to pass photos off a computer that handles classified information to a foreign national while stationed in Yokosuka, Japan. Pedicini was arrested shortly after the attempted espionage was discovered. He's been in pretrial confinement since May 2023. If this is true, if he's guilty, he deserves a tough sentence or an opportunity to walk the plank in shark-infested waters. That would be my choice.
Wow. Wow.
Yes.
Well, I found a story that I thought was very interesting, because I was talking to you this morning about campaign finance.
Yeah.
And, you have to, any candidate has to file campaign finance in which they have a special account that they put their money into and take money out of for expenses, et cetera, and contributions. Well, you have to do a report. There's required reports that you have to do. But this happened in Indiana. Several Goshen school board members are wanted for arrest after candidates failed to disclose the names of donors who contributed to a 2022 fundraiser. According to reports, arrest warrants were issued for former Goshen Mayor Alan Coffin, Jose Izzadeh, Mario Garber, Roger Nafziger, and Andrea Johnson on Tuesday morning. As of Wednesday afternoon, they have all been arrested and processed at the county jail, according to jail logs. Per the report, the charges stem from a 2022 school board election in which contributions gathered and used to help pay for a mailer against 3 other candidates. The charges include 1 level 6 felony of filing a fraudulent report and 5 misdemeanors for accepting a contribution made in another one's name. Indiana doesn't mess around.
Candidates, we got election laws.
That's right.
And you can rest assured that those who are running against you, your competitors, they will be looking at your campaign finances.
Of course.
As they always do.
Yeah, I
In
like
addition
to
to
look at
that, media
Right.
that will do exactly the same thing, particularly when they get tipped off about things.
Right. Well, this was very in your face type of stuff that they were doing, and then fraudulently filed the reports, and so, hey, don't mess around with that stuff. It's serious.
No, it is serious.
Right now, our lieutenant governor is being investigated for his 2020 campaign finance reports. What comes out of it, everything may be fine, but then and again, you need to be careful. And you need to know that if I was running for office and you gave me $500, wouldn't you like to see that on that report?
Yes, it better be
And
there.
know that it went in there. So
Otherwise, I thought you went out and had a party.
could have.
Okay, I'm going to take a little break here. It's smelling really good in here.
No, it smells so good. And we have our special friend to thank for it.
We certainly do. And We got a puppy dog over there. He's been sniffing into it. He's not about to leave that box. It was just delivered to us.
That's
And I
right.
think it was from Angie's.
It
No,
is. It's from Helen's Kitchen.
Helen's Kitchen. Yes,
Helen's.
that's what I meant to say. It's from Helen's Kitchen, right up the road from here.
Right.
I think I'm going to open it.
It smells so good. My stomach's just growling. I'm like,
So we're going to take a commercial break.
Right.
And come back and do some weather. I may be full of ham and biscuit or whatever is in that box.
can we just have a bite?
Yeah, I'm going to have one. You're live in local Real Talk, Freedom 97.1, 1120 AM, WSME. We'll be right back.
Hey, this is Chris Rainey, your host for Sports Talk. Tune in later this morning at 9 a.m. as our guest will be Brett McFarland, coach of Swansboro High School. We'll be previewing the big Coastal Conference matchup in the conference tournament. The co-host will be Robert Farley. We'll see you later this morning on Sports Talk on Freedom 97.1 WSME.
Mohawk All Pet Protection and Warranty is the only copper protection and warranty for all pets, all accidents, all the time. Because your pets are family members too. No matter how you live, we've got you covered. Soft, luxurious, smart strand forever clean carpet. Gorgeous, durable, solid tint luxury vinyl tile. Mohawk has the ultimate floor for every room in your home. It's suitable for all pets. For details, contact Watkins Floor Covering online at watkinsnewfloor.com. Watkins Floor Covering, thanking you for voting them the best of the best for 2023 in the flooring covering and carpet cleaning category. Watkins Floor Covering, they're more than just floors. It's custom showers, custom tubs, carpet cleaning, backsplashes, bathrooms, commercial, retail, and home flooring too. Watkins Floor Covering, family owned and operated since 1997 with locations in Jacksonville and Surf City. Watkins Floor Covering, you stand on it, we stand behind it.
Southern Touch Painting, Maintenance, Power Washing, and Roofing specializes in residential and commercial interior and exterior painting. In fact, they paint most cars, including homes, businesses, apartment complexes, decks, and they do minor repairs, wood repairs, pressure washing, waterproofing, and more, including storm repair and cleanup. Southern Touch Painting, Maintenance, Power Washing, and Roofing, fully licensed, insured, and locally owned and operated by Roger Carroll Jr. References available and customer satisfaction is always guaranteed. So if you want it painted, maintained, power washed, or need a new roof, call Southern Touch Painting, Maintenance, and Power Washing at 910-939-0749 or visit southerntouchpaintingnc.com. Southern Touch Painting, Maintenance, Power Washing, and Roofing salutes our troops and is proud to be part of the continued growth of Onslow and surrounding counties.
This is Robin Knapp, current Vice Chairman of the Board of Commissioners. I'm also a United States Air Force veteran and a retired special agent with NCIS. During the past 8 years, I have never faltered from my stance not to raise taxes or the tax rate, and I voted no the last time we voted on taxes. It is imperative that we continue to strive toward more conservative spending and utilize the funds that we have more efficiently and effectively. Despite our current economic status nationally, we must do everything we can to spend funds wisely, conservatively, and uniquely as we continue to grow as a community. The needs of our citizens and their voices need to be heard because as a commissioner, I represent all of you, regardless of political affiliation, religious beliefs, gender, race, and etc. In the last 8 years, I have shown strong and candid leadership, direction, and fortitude in voicing my opinions and voting without outside influence from others or groups, only voting my conscience and what I feel is best for the citizens and not for me. Please vote for me once again as one of your county commissioners. This message was paid for by the committee to re-elect Robin Knapp.
Humphrey Heating and Air Conditioning, your trusted local carrier indoor weather team, serving all of your heating and air conditioning needs since 1967. Now offers residential and commercial duct and dryer vent cleaning, and now offers expert residential and commercial plumbing service. In case of a power outage due to a storm or for any other reason, be prepared with a Generac generator for your home or business. Humphrey Heating and Air Conditioning has Generac generators in stock, ready to install today. Remember, better breathing comes with cleaner air. Let Humphrey Heating and Air Conditioning improve the air quality in your home or business with professional air duct cleaning. As always, Humphrey Heating and Air Conditioning is available 24/7 for all your heating, cooling, and plumbing emergency needs. Turn to the carrier experts, Humphrey Heating and Air Conditioning, with locations in Jacksonville and Hampstead. Visit online, humphreyheating.com, and follow us on Facebook and Instagram. Humphrey Heating and Air Conditioning since 1960. Relax, we're on the way.
It's live and local Real Talk on Freedom 97.1 WSME.
Yeah, I just don't even know what direction to go here. Now, the spoon, fork, knife, or the okay, I've talked a lot about the great boats down at Tideline Marine. They're on sale there. It's hard not to talk about them. The Lund fishing boats, for instance, are not the flimsy little John boats that a lot of folks know about. These are well-built boats meant to last a lifetime. They come in a variety of configurations, kind of like designing your own boat to fit your wants. If ocean fishing is your thing, you should take a look at one of the center console Aqua Sports for sale there. Great for nearshore and offshore adventures. That's not all. If your interest is cruising with friends on area bays, rivers, or the intercoastal waterway, maybe you've got a whole big family or a lot of friends. You can put them on one of the plushest and best constructed pontoon boats I've ever seen. It's on display right now at Tideline Marine. It's called the Aloha boats. They're actually tri-tunes. Got 3 tunes on them. Aloha has been in business since the 1960s. They're not going to go away. Do yourself a favor and stop by Tideline to check out the boats they're offering. Tideline Marine, 159 Old Bridge Street on the banks of the New River in downtown Jacksonville. And also, while you're out and about, stop by Helen's Kitchen.
Heck yeah.
There's some fine food here. Thank you, Theo.
That's amazing.
Thank
Theo,
you,
you're the
Theo.
best.
We love you, Theo.
Small craft advisories in effect through tomorrow afternoon. Today, offshore southwesterly winds 25 to 30 with gusts of 40 knots, seas 6 to 9 feet. Dominant period 6 seconds. Sounds and rivers very rough. Northwesterly winds on Saturday, 10 to 15 knots, seas 4 to 6 feet. Sounds and rivers, a moderate chop. Sunday, northerly winds 15 to 20, becoming northwesterly 10 to 15 in the afternoon. Then it's going to switch around to the southwest later in the day, 5 to 10 knots, seas 2 to 4. Sounds and rivers choppy, diminishing to a moderate chop in the afternoon.
Today, showers, and we can actually hear it raining and see it out the window. It's raining pretty hard out there right now. With thunderstorms possible after 4 o'clock. And remember, we are still in winter. Just throwing that out there. To high today, 63. We will have some gusts as high as 23 miles an hour. So it'll be like rainy and gusty and windy. And just that's even worse. Makes us wet. Tonight, partly cloudy, low of 41. Tomorrow, mostly sunny, high of 60. It's like a great day. Little gusty. Tomorrow night, mostly cloudy, low of 33, which makes it cold. And on Sunday, sunny, a high of 55, and not gusty at all.
Ooh,
as of
be
now.
nice.
Heck yeah.
Sunday's going to be a decent day.
Look, Wednesday's going to be an amazing day.
You know,
Too
I
bad
have
gotta
flowers starting to pop through the ground.
Oh, really?
Yeah, starting to grow.
Yeah.
And yeah,
Weeds
it's
are
a
starting to grow, too.
trick. It's a trick.
It is a trick. Rayford's got daffodils or buttercups, depending on
Robbie
where you're
has
from.
got them.
Out there, they're in full bloom.
Yep,
I
they
just
are.
want the magnolia tree.
Yeah.
That is a beautiful
I know,
tree.
it is. Very much so. I agree with that.
Mitch Sprunger has been serving as the interim director at the Albert J. Ellis Airport since last September. No more. He's now officially the airport director after working as a deputy director for a total of 5 years. Before that, Sprunger was the deputy airport director at San Angelo Regional Airport in Texas. With 15 years of airport management experience, he's an accredited airport executive and a North Carolina airport professional. Ellis Airport has been providing service to the area since 1971. Currently, 2 airlines offer flights, Delta and American. And they got expansion programs underway
Right.
as well. Airport
And we'll be
renovation.
calling you, Mitch.
Yep, we want to get you on the air.
Yes, we do.
Let's see, what else we got cooking out there?
We have Miller time coming up in a few minutes.
Yeah, we're waiting. He is going to do it today, right?
Yes, yes.
If he's got his phone.
Phones
hooked.
are working.
Good. A fisherman hooked and reeled in a man's body while fishing in the Chattahoochee River in
What?
Columbus, Georgia, Tuesday evening. Authorities believe the body is likely a homeless man who reportedly jumped into the
Oh.
river on February 7th, about 2 weeks ago. Columbus police officers who were at the scene when it happened originally confirmed the body was the same man. They're awaiting positive identification, of course. If I was there, I'd want to know what substances were in that 50-year-old man's body that caused him to jump into wintertime water in the first place. Something's wrong. Homeless, I guarantee you he's going to have something there. There's other issues.
I just have to say, I couldn't imagine being out there fishing and your hook
Yeah.
grabs.
I know.
that
Can you
and-
imagine?
And what would be your first thought? Boy, what have I caught? Or is
Well,
it snagged on
it's dead
something?
weight. No,
Right.
So, it's not like you should know it's not a fish,
And-
but it
and-
could be a rubber tire.
Yes, and then to start working at trying to bring it up and realizing you've snatched onto, I'd give up fishing.
Wow. An expert Georgia prosecutor, Fannie Willis, retained to help prosecute former President Trump, donated $4,300 to her campaign for public office.
There we go again.
Those campaign finance expense reports will get you into trouble. John Floyd, a prominent Atlanta attorney and partner in one of the law firms there, was retained by Willis in 2021 to help her prosecute the former president. Floyd is one of the leading experts in Georgia's intricate and complex racket at play in the sweeping cases against the former president. One expert told Fox News that while Floyd's donations present no ethical, legal, or conflict of interest problems, the previous campaign donations could add to the mounting optics problems for Ms. Willis. According to public records, Floyd donated to Willis' campaign for district attorney twice, $2,800 on March 20th, $1,500 on June 25th, and both of them in 2020 for a total of $4,300.
Well, political favors. That's all I'm saying. But wasn't there a news story out last week about her campaign finances, and she had like over 200 donors that weren't living, which you have to over a certain amount. There are a lot of shenanigans going on.
Willis and Nathan Wade, one of the guys that she hired also, have confirmed they had a relationship but denied allegations of wrongdoing. Okay. Both testified in court last week that Willis always paid Wade back for her share of their travel in cash and said no receipts exist. Their testimony about the start of their relationship contradicted one witness who said she had no doubt that Willis and Wade's romantic involvement started in 2019 before Wade was hired in 2021. What a mess. That poor judge hearing all this mess. He's a lawyer too, of course. Don't you know that he's saying, what kind of idiots are out there? What is going on?
Well, I still think now I was reading, and it was from a reputable news site that was saying that more than likely they will not take her off the case because according to Georgia state ethics, she really didn't break a law. And so, but they suggested that it would be in her best interest and everybody's best interest if she stepped down from the case. And I agree with that.
Because everything, oh my God.
You muddy the waters, then you need to step down and let somebody else handle it. Because if Trump was to be found guilty, of course, there's going to be accusations of, collusion and all this other. I mean, just get away from all that. Put new people in there, let them do the case, and let it be what it is.
It's always good for government to help individuals who are down on their luck, right?
I'm afraid to say yes.
Washington, D.C. Mayor Muriel Bowser distributed thousands of dollars to low-income moms with no strings attached as part of an equitable economic recovery strategy to offset the cost of childcare. In one case, at least one that they knew of, the taxpayer dollars were used to fund a lavish trip to Miami.
I knew that was coming.
$10,000 he was given, or she was given. The direct cash payments, part of a pilot program to determine whether the flush of cash could demonstrate economic improvements among participants. Additional cash has allowed women to receive further financial stability, financial security, food security, and health insurance coverage. That's what Bowser's office claims. An economic policy expert said the policies were a misdirection of funds that should otherwise be used for public safety and education. All 132 mothers who participated in the program were able to choose whether to receive monthly payments of $900 or get $10,800 in a lump sum, a unique feature of DC's pilot. Wow.
I think it's Miller time.
I think it's Miller time too. Good morning. How are you?
Well, I'm fine. How about Bud Light time?
It's a Bud Light time. How are you?
It's their own Chris.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I didn't know Chris was calling in. I'll be brief. Just real quick comment on Miss Willis and all that junk down in Georgia, Peach State. Wasn't it if she steps down or she is relieved of duties or so? So they're saying that basically the case will probably be dropped, or
it's a possibility.
Taken in here.
Yeah, there's a possibility it'll be dropped.
And I think that's just, personally, I just think that's why she's not stepping down, which she should. I mean, there is improprieties, and just because her dad got up on the stand and said he taught all his children to put money in their mattresses.
I felt so sorry for your dad.
Oh God.
It was.
Yeah, that is just, it's a shame that everything's happening the way it is, but that's the way our politics, unfortunately, on national stage has come down. It's really, no one's being able to talk about what they want to do if elected for offices because of all the mudslinging. But it is nice that some things are coming out that do have truth to it.
Yes.
Like on your show, do have facts. And so I just wanted to ask that question because I'm pretty sure I heard that that's what would happen if she stepped down or they find improprieties.
Yeah, well,
But,
you know, the whole mess is going to end up in court and that, but it's just going to be really awkward. How do you convince a jury of anything?
Rayford, that's the question that I don't know if anybody in mankind will ever be able to answer. I mean, you've got how many people that are sitting in on that jury? 11, and I know that when I served on a jury, as we all probably have served on a jury, they ask you a bunch of questions. Can you be neutral on this, something like that? But a real quick story. I was sat in when they were interviewing the potential jurors. One person had had staying awake during the day.
Yes.
They kept him on the case. But they also asked someone, do you know of anybody and it would happen to be, sadly, a rape case, and said, do you know anybody that's been involved in this? Yes. They kept her on the jury. It's just, something's wrong with our legal system right now.
Yep.
Except we do have a wonderful DA here in Ernie Lee.
We do.
Saw him the other day. Great guy. I'm going to let you go so Chris can get on and do some other time. Have a great weekend, y'all.
You too. The other Chris, Mr. Miller.
Hey, good morning, everybody. Was that my good friend Chris Marks on the other line?
That was.
It was.
Good morning to Chris. He's been a good friend of mine. Always good to hear him talk on the radio.
It is. How are we
How's
looking?
everybody doing this morning?
We're doing fine. It's raining here, though, and it's probably raining at your house, too, since I know where you live.
Yeah. It's raining cats and dogs, and luckily the basketball's inside.
Yeah.
Tournament, don't we?
Yes, ma'am. Unfortunately, the Jacksonville Cardinals boys basketball team fell a little short at South Central last night in the semifinals of their conference tournament. They played hard and played well throughout the game, and had the top team in South Central on the ropes, and just ran out of gas, just ran out of momentum, and South Central came back and won the game. But good effort by the Cardinals nonetheless. And then the Jacksonville girls, they won their tournament semifinals, so they're playing at South Central tonight in their tournament final game. So good luck to them, and then we'll have the state playoffs next week. So it's certainly an exciting time for the area basketball.
Yes, it is. Swansboro's just holding it together, aren't they?
Swansboro, yep. They host White Oak tonight, the boys, in their conference tournament final, and then we have the Richlands girls playing over at Crow's Head tonight in their conference tournament final, and then both Southwest teams are going to be playing at Kinston tonight in their tournament final game. So, like I said, we have a lot of solid basketball, and then I think a lot of fans and players and coaches are excited to see what happens next week when it really counts, when it really matters next week in the state playoffs, because next week is you have a bad day, then your season's over, and then you move on to the spring season.
Well,
now, what sports can you play in the rain?
Swimming.
you can fish. How about that?
That's good with me. I've caught a whole bunch of fish, trout, many years ago when it was raining.
Well,
One day.
in terms of the rain, I mean, certain sports like football, you can play in the rain as long as it's not pouring down rain and as long as it's not lightning. And certain sports, maybe like lacrosse, you can still play drizzle or raining a little bit. I've seen that, but soccer. But if it's a light drizzle, they'll still tend to play. But when it's really pouring down and it's really maybe the wind is really bad or it's lightning, there's certain safety procedures you have to adhere to, and even schools will rather be safe than sorry. And if it's just too muddy out, they'll just postpone the game just to make sure that the student athletes are stay safe.
Yeah, those are games you call slip sliding, right?
Yeah, exactly. But it is kind of frustrating when Mother Nature cancels or postpones the game. But if you're looking at it from a coach perspective or a principal perspective, athletic director, like I said, you'd rather be safe than sorry. It's just a ball game, and you can always make up the ball game. You can't, you don't want the young people getting hurt if you can avoid it.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Injuries are always going to happen, in sporting events, no matter what. But if you can help avoid it, then that's what it's all about.
Yeah. All right, Chris, thank you, sir. Sorry you had telephone problems yesterday.
Hey, no problem. I missed talking to you guys yesterday, but I did want to propose a radio station idea that I think you guys would enjoy. Your good friend Tim and then your good friend Steve, the regular callers. I think they should go into business together and form their own radio station. we can call it the Two Donkeys.
Chris.
There you go.
That would be an interesting show.
Yeah, and then you could have your friend Theo as the third person. Maybe Chris Marks on there to chime in, and it could be kind of a Hannity and Combs type of show. How about that?
Yeah, maybe we could get them to do it about 6:00 one morning, and they could do it right here.
Right. Yeah, we could do that.
The undercard before the main event.
It would be fun.
No, I appreciate you guys letting me call in every week.
Thank you.
I missed y'all yesterday with the phone issues, but everybody stay safe this weekend, and we'll talk next week for an update on the basketball playoffs.
Sounds like good. I like a good one. Thank you, sir.
Great.
Have a good one.
Thanks, Chris.
Have a great one. You're live and local, Real Talk, Freedom 97.1, 1120 a.m. WSME. We'll be right back.
Hey, it's Rick Dees right here. Join me weekdays from 10 till 3 p.m. on your Daily Dees right here on Freedom 97.1 WSME.
The best deal for the grill is at Jones LP Gas and Oil Company each Friday. Every Friday from 8 a.m. till closing at 5, Jones LP Gas and Oil Company will fill your 20-pound LP gas grill cylinder for only $11. You heard that right. Each Friday till closing, you can have your 20-pound LP gas cylinder filled for only $11 at Jones Gas and Oil Company, 3881 Wilmington Highway in heart of Verona. In addition to saving money on your LP gas for the grill, Jones Gas and Oil is your full-service gas and oil company serving residential, commercial, and agricultural gas and oil needs, as well as gas appliances, LP replacement, parts, fill cylinders, and tankless water heaters, and they offer a 10% military discount on installation. Remember to get that cylinder filled every Friday until closing for only $11. Jones Gas and Oil Company, 3881 the Old Wilmington Highway, Verona. Phone 910-346-6384.
Looking for a job? Full-time? Part-time? Il Cigno Italiano Restaurant wants you. We're currently hiring for hostesses, servers, bartenders, and dishwashers. Il Cigno Italiano is a family-owned, fast-paced restaurant that offers the best in fine dining on the Crystal Coast. If you're hardworking, reliable, professional, and have a desire to always strive for better, we want to talk to you. Make great money and be a part of an outstanding, dedicated team. Il Cigno Italiano on West Corbin Avenue in Swansboro.
For 40 years now, people throughout Jacksonville and Onslow County have trusted Barnes Diamond Gallery for all their jewelry needs for every special occasion. They understand that every day is a special event for someone, whether celebrating a wedding, anniversary, birthday, engagement, or graduation. Let Barnes Diamond Gallery custom design something for you. Barnes Diamond Gallery does on-site repair in addition to their quality and selection of diamonds, diamond fashion bands, pendants, watches, earrings, gemstone rings, and necklaces for anyone for any occasion. Major credit cards accepted. Layaway available. Barnes Diamond Gallery offers appraisals and paid top market prices for gold and silver. Barnes Diamond Gallery, 461 Western Boulevard, Suite 120, Jacksonville, open 9:30 to 5:30, Monday through Friday.
Tammy Fry Allstate Swansboro reminds you to check your mailbox and find your quote on homeowners insurance. Tammy Fry Allstate Swansboro goes the extra mile to make sure you're in good hands, like helping you customize your home and windstorm coverage with their Write Your Own home policy. Yes, save even more. Bundle your home, auto, boat, motorcycle, and even your golf cart. Remember, if it rolls or floats, call Tammy for a quote. You and everything you own are in good hands with Tammy Fry Allstate Swansboro. Call today, 910-326-5383. Tammy Fry Allstate, 638 West Corbett Avenue in the friendly city by the sea, Swansboro. Check your mailbox today for savings on your homeowner's insurance.
If your plans include hitting the road this year to do some traveling, make sure a visit to Silent Service Center is on your to-do list. Travel safety starts with the tires on your vehicle, and a visit to Silent Service Center will give you peace of mind with the best value in all name brand tires and the largest selection of used tires in this area. In addition to quality tires, Silent Service Center is a North Carolina inspection station and does complete brake service, oil changes, and alignment service. Silent Service Center, 1707 Lejeune Boulevard and 108 West Main Street, Havelock. Phone 910-353-4760.
Meet John Davis, a dedicated leader with a vision for Onslow County. As the mayor of Swansboro for 6 years, John has worked with people to make things happen. Now he's ready to work with you to make improvements in the county we all call home. John's platform is built on the foundations of real change. Your voice is at the center of that change. As a champion for veterans and their families, John will continue to collaborate with local, state, and national leaders to improve the lives of the veterans we love in our communities. Onslow County residents need expanded options for mental health and addiction treatment and family support. John needs your help to bring options for hope and healing to our neighbors, friends, and loved ones in need. Emergency response capability is critical to our county, and John values your input as efforts continue to ensure the safety and well-being of every resident. John is a champion for economic development and job creation. You know the jobs we need, and he wants to bring them here. Let's strive to build a thriving, prosperous community for all. Together, we can build a brighter future for Onslow County. Vote John Davis for Onslow County Commissioner. Leadership, vision, and commitment for a better tomorrow.
Paid for by the committee to elect John Davis.
It's live and local. Real Talk on Freedom 97 AM WSME.
All right, guys, we're gonna try something again that we tried last week, and it didn't work out so well then. But we've got Chris Rayner and the crew at the other studio. Hey, Chris, how are you? I think we got it. Chris Rayner. I'm listening off the air. Let me try one of your source here.
All right, I'll just call him.
Okay, I got you. Another source.
Are we here?
Yep.
Sweet baby Jesus, I'm here.
Here, loud and clear.
I thought it was AT&T messing with us again.
Oh, no.
How are you guys today?
We're hanging in here, Chris.
On this rainy day in Onslow.
Yes, it is.
Wasn't that a song? Rainy day in Onslow.
I don't know. Sing a little bit more of it.
I think it's raining all over the world.
That's enough.
I've got a song request for you.
Rainy night in Georgia, actually.
Yes.
I've got a song request for you.
Okay.
Sing far, far away.
Far, far away. I know it
that
should
one over his head.
Go away and sing. Well, good morning. Hey, I heard you guys had Chris Miller on this morning. Sounds like you got the sports forward already covered. We're going to take some time off.
We're taking time off
for an hour and a half, I think. So we'll just switch up today.
You've got a lot to talk about this morning. Who are your guests?
We got Coach Brett McFarland of the Swansboro Pirates. Man, that team is on fire. Won 24 games in a row since losing to Laney by 1 point at Laney. That's Michael Jordan's high school, so that's a basketball school.
Yes.
They've been impressive this year. So we're going to talk it up with him, the Swansboro teams, and kind of reset all the other conference tournaments and let everybody know what's going on and who's playing tonight and where to go and all that good stuff. Got Coach Robert McFarlane with us today as co-host.
Good.
And Chris Hollywood Man behind the scenes.
Hi.
Yes.
Hey.
So we got the bugs worked out. We can do this every week now. We'll come in and do a little preview every week.
We can do that.
All right. We'll be talking a lot of high school basketball today. That's mostly what we'll be covering today.
That's good. That's good.
And
Jacksonville
this
fell
day
last
Spurs
night.
has some juicy stuff from back at the Lake Placid Olympics. So it's good stuff today.
You mentioned that famous basketball player from Wilmington.
Michael Jordan.
Yes. In the 70s, when he was at Laney, I was in news at WWAY, the ABC affiliate in Wilmington. The sports director, a guy named Gene Motley.
Yes.
And he asked me if I could go out and shoot the game one night because there was a kid there that was looking like he was going to do pretty well. And I did.
Now, what was he then? Was he a junior or a senior? Because you know he didn't make the varsity team his sophomore year.
No, he did not. I think he was a senior. And anyway, we shot it on 16 millimeter film, believe it or not.
Wow. You still got it somewhere?
No, I wish I had it. Wow,
Lord. Nice.
But when we switched over, when the station switched over to all videotape, they dumped all of the old film.
Well, back then that was must-see TV, and even though it wasn't TV, those games were packed. They said that gym, you couldn't fit any more people in it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, he was awesome. And still is. I mean, obviously became the greatest basketball player ever, still in my opinion.
I think so too.
And, of course, the only player on earth, or the only person on earth that could keep him under 20 points a game was Dean Smith. Because, the team concept, he didn't want one player scoring, 50 points a game. But he could have.
I was just thinking yesterday driving, what was the most points scored by a single player in a single game in history? Do you know?
In NBA?
Yeah.
It was Wilt Chamberlain, 100 points.
Was it 100?
And oddly enough, it was not even in a big place where people could see him. It was at Hershey Park, Pennsylvania. They used to play games away from their home stadium. They would play at the athletic park, other different places so other fans could see it. They weren't always tied to their home, arena like they are now.
Right.
So they played that game at Hershey Park. So just a handful of people saw that amazing feat. 100 points, one person.
I also saw the Globetrotters play in Wilmington, played UNCW.
Oh yeah,
that was a fun game to go see.
Oh yeah, and even though the script with the Washington Generals, the team they play and all that, that's still amazing the things they do.
Great acting.
I think Robert McFarland played for the Globetrotters for a little while.
Was that right?
Robert Farley. I'm getting my guests mixed up today. Robert Farley. We got Robert with us, our co-host today.
Hey, the Globetrotters are coming to Raleigh
He said the Globetrotters are coming to Raleigh if the mic didn't pick it up. Did you hear that?
I heard it.
Nice.
So PNC, that'd be a good place to see them. Yeah. Are they coming to PNC or?
They are. I was at a Journey concert Saturday and saw that they were coming, I think, in April.
Wow. That's an awesome
whatever version they are now. The original guys are not there, but
yeah, the old guys are
gone.
All right, hey guys, appreciate it. Get ready for your show.
Thanks for having us. We'll see you guys in a few minutes.
And we got a commercial break, and you know how that is. Then we'll be right back. You're live and local. Real Talk on Freedom 97.1, 1120 AM, WSME, and commercial, and then a little bit more, and then we're going to have Sports Talk in just about 7 or 8 minutes.
Freedom 97.1 WSME.
Have you gotten your copy of Topsail Times newspaper this week? If not, did you know that Topsail Times is Topsail area's only local newspaper in print? Started a little over a year ago, we now have over 1,500 online subscribers and 5,000 printed copies that go out every 2 weeks. And we never charge our readers. Information should be free to our readers, and we stick by that. Looking for an idea for date night? Want to learn some local history? How about asking a veterinarian about your pet? These things and more are available in each copy of the Topsail Times newspaper. Want to get the word out about your business? We offer great rates for full color ads, and the online paper version is always included for free. Need help designing the perfect ad? We can do that too. We're always looking for human interest stories, so start writing. And we love local photos too. Check out our website at topsailtimes.net, where you can find out where to pick up a copy or check out our latest publication online.
If you plan to rebuild, remodel, repair, or do cottage or home improvements, Williams Hardware, 3011B Bridges Street, Morris City, should be your first stop. Williams Hardware carries power tools and equipment, chains and fasteners, plumbing and electrical supplies, along with Gerber, Buck, and Case knives. Williams Hardware is your helpful, handy hardware store. Williams Hardware cuts glass to size and cuts and threads pipe. When the chores are done and the cleanup is finished, light up that Wilmington grill from Williams Hardware. Williams Hardware, 3011B Bridges Street, Morris City, open Monday through Saturday from 7:30 till 6 p.m. and Sundays for your convenience, noon till 5. Phone Williams Hardware, 252-726-7158.
Welcome to Lane & Associates Family Dentistry, where we love to make you smile. Now proud to be working with Doctors Kim and Tommy Morgan, formerly Morgan Family Dentistry. The Jacksonville and Richlands Morgan offices of Lane & Associates Family Dentistry blends the latest technology with personal care and attention, so you have an amazing dental experience. The offices of Lane & Associates welcome all ages and accepts all major insurances, including military. Lane & Associates Family Dentistry has been serving the state of North Carolina for over 40 years, with 2 locations in Jacksonville, Richlands, and Maysville. Call for an appointment today at 877-LANE-DDS or online at lanedds.com. Welcome to Lane & Associates Family Dentistry.
Head out to the Swansboro Area Business Showcase on Saturday, February 24th at the beautiful Swansboro Rotary Civic Center. Doors open at 10 a.m. Admission is free. Check out products and services from area companies. Sample free signature menu items from local restaurants from 11 a.m. until 1 p.m. Enjoy entertainment on the big stage from youth organizations and local groups. For more information, log on to swansborochamber.org or call 910-326-1174.
It's live and local. Real talk on Freedom 97.1 WSME.
Okay, we're back for a few more minutes. And I'm snacking in between during commercial break. I never eat on the air, as you know.
That's right. You wanted to let Chris Rayner and those boys know.
That's right.
That's right.
Hey, Chris, we're having stuff from my sweet little restaurant up here, Helen's Kitchen. And we got ham, we got sausage, we got bacon, a couple of different kinds of sausage, eggs, potatoes, and cool stuff here.
You can be jealous of
Grits.
us today. That's right.
Grits. Hey, MSNBC made a leap yesterday to declare that the ex-Intel officials who peddled the Russian disinformation narrative about Hunter Biden's laptop were actually right. Following the DOJ's recent indictment of Alexander Smirnov, an ex-informant for the FBI, was charged last week by special counsel David Weiss, I guess it is, of making false statements alleging both President Biden and his son pocketed millions in bribes for the ousting of Ukrainian for ousting the Ukrainian prosecutor who was investigating the Ukrainian energy Burisma Holdings, on which Hunter sat as a board member. In light of the recent developments, MSNBC revisited the infamous open letters signed by 51 ex-Intel officials in October of 2020, responding to the bombshell reporting about Hunter Biden's laptop, insisting the published emails had all the classic earmarks of a Russian information operation. My. NBC News correspondent Ken Delalian told the news folks at Fox News that those former Intel officials paid a steep price for signing that letter. I bet you they did. House Republicans conducted an investigation. They brought some of them in to testify under oath. The Republicans said this was election interference. This was a bogus attempt to suppress a legitimate story. As it turns out, they were right. Not in the sense they said that the laptop was part of a Russian information operation or had all the hallmarks of a Russian information operation. They did not say that the contents of the laptop were made up. And obviously, we know that they were not. Many of them have been now corroborated. So, who knows who's right? It's a very confusing story, too, by the way.
I was just reading this story, and we don't really have enough time to go over it today, but maybe we can get our senator to come in or call in. Senator Lazar is proposing privatizing the North Carolina Department of Motor Vehicles.
Yes, he's been talking about that.
Yes, I knew he is, but now they're pushing it through. But wouldn't that be nice to have a DMV on every street corner like we have the vape shops? I mean, there'd never be a wait time in line, would it?
True.
Well, it's going to be a little bit different. Privatizing one thing, but they're still going to have to do it under state regulations.
Oh, of course. But they've had so many complaints with so many DMV agencies with outdated software and not having enough people, extremely long wait times. And yeah, it's a lot of frustration. I try to do all mine online. I stay away.
Yeah, I have to do it online now.
Yeah, but just coming up real fast, we don't want people to forget tomorrow Swansboro's having their business expo.
Absolutely.
Doors open at 10 o'clock.
Beautiful day.
It's going to be a beautiful day. Right there in Swansboro. There are signs on the road. Yeah, at the Rotary Club. Center. And I do believe that Mark McHugh said that he's got big signs out there, so it's easy to find. So don't forget that.
And if you're headed from Jacksonville, when you get to Mills and Thomas, everybody knows where that is. It'll be on your right side. Look to your left and get in the turn lane.
And the thing about it is there's a street that runs back behind there. So if you turn one street too soon or one street after, it's right there. You won't miss it.
Yeah.
It's very easy to get to.
Food.
They have 5
restaurants
free samples
there.
Start at 11 o'clock.
Yep. And so anyway.
Sheriff's Department's going to be there. Awassa.
Yep.
Yeah, it's got representatives there. So, it's we've been there. We've been a part of that in the past. It's really a great event to go to. A lot of businesses.
And if I wasn't working tomorrow, I'd go tomorrow.
Yes. Well, I will be there tomorrow. I'll be there tomorrow.
All right. Sounds like a winner. Okay. We're going to take a break now until next Monday.
Yes.
We are. But we're going to turn it over to Fox News real fast. And then Chris Rayner and company with Sports Talk. And then after 10 o'clock, it's going to be our buddy Rick Dees with another dose of the Daily Dees. Right. And then at 3 o'clock this afternoon, we got Hollywood Man, the man, is going to be spinning all the tunes that you like to hear up until 7 o'clock this evening. And from, 5? From 5 until 7, I think it is, or something like that. There's over the weekend, some really good stuff then too. We're going to go over their whole schedules because we got the updated schedule now.
And don't forget early voting tomorrow, 8 to 3.
8 to
3.
At
the 5 polling places. So Saturday's a great day to go.
Today too.
And today too until 7:30. Right.
You're live and local, Real Talk Freedom, 97.1, 1120 AM, WSME. Live around the world, WSME971.com. See you Monday morning.
WSME, Camp Lejeune, W246CJ, Jacksonville.
Fox News.